is the story of a young lady called Amarachi. She was the daughter of a palm wine tapper and a petty trader who sold buns and soft drinks under one crooked umbrella at the junction. She wasn't born with a silver spoon. In fact, even plastic spoon safe, they no give her, but she had brains. She grew up in the dusty town of Ibanke, where people believed more in luck than hard work, but no Amarachi. From JS1, she was already known as the girl who borrowed textbooks from 3 different seniors just to make sure she had the correct edition. While her mates were watching Z-World, she would be at the backyard with the torchlight studying for WAEC because there was no light. Getting into the university was another miracle. Her parents sold their last goat to pay her acceptance fee. From 100 level to final year, she combined school with other legal hustle you can imagine. Typing assignment for people at 100 naira per page, helping lecturers proofread seminar papers, even washing clothes for lazy rich kids in her hostel. She was the definition of hustle must pay. But when she graduated and carried her BSc in microbiology like a trophy, life said, "Is that all?" NYSC took her to a remote village in Kogi State where the only hospital had more goats than patients. After 1 year of serving her fatherland, she came back to her mother's shop. No job, no savings, no godfather, just hope and MTN night sub. Then, one day, one small miracle happened. A friend she had helped write CV during school told her about a job opening in Lagos. "It's just a customer service job," the friend said. "They're paying 30,000 naira. I know it's small, but at least it's something." 30,000 naira care. Amarachi's heart did not even care about the amount. She dusted her traveling bag, borrowed transport fare, and landed in Lagos like someone on a divine mission. Her first day at the job felt like a dream. AC was blowing. She was sitting in front of a computer. There was even free coffee. By the second week, reality slapped her harder than NEPA wire. She had already spent 11,000 naira on transportation alone, not counting feeding and pad money. One Saturday, she opened her bank app and saw her account balance, 673 naira 22 kobo. She almost cried. That evening, she went online to rant on Twitter using her last MB. Just as she was about to post, "Adulting is a scam," she got a DM from a kind sister she used to know in fellowship. "Sister Amara, long time, you are glowing, oh. Can I ask you something personal?" Before she could reply, the girl sent her another message. "Hope you don't mind though, but have you considered online businesses? I have a platform where I made over 1.2 million naira in 3 months. We sell data, airtime, and teach people how to make passive income." Amarachi replied immediately, 1.2 million naira? Please tell me more. What followed next was a series of voice notes, testimonies, screenshots of alerts, and one overly edited picture of a girl beside a car that looked like it was borrowed from a car wash. Something didn't feel right, but Amarachi was desperate. She borrowed the 5,000 naira from a colleague in her place of work and paid the starter fee. She waited and waited, but that was the last time she heard from the girl. She checked her page the next day. She had been blocked. WhatsApp blocked, and the Telegram group had been deleted. When Amarachi realized she had been outsmarted, she sat on her bed with her hair looking like the early stages of depression and just stared at the wall. Before she knew it, she burst out into a loud, bitter cry. "God, my 5K. She sounded like a true philosopher. "God, this 5K is like 500,000 naira. I borrowed it. Why do you allow this to happen to me?" She didn't eat chua that day. In fact, for 2 days, she couldn't look at her bank app. Every time she remembered, her chest would rise like bread dove in an oven. But guess what? After crying and blaming herself, she picked herself up. She said one line that changed everything. "They outsmarted the old me, but Everybody knew me with less street sense. 3 weeks later, after working from Ikeja to Maryland just to save transport, Amarachi landed another job. This one was a receptionist role in a business center, and her salary was 45,000 naira. She danced that day like she won a grant from CBN. But from her first week, she knew she had entered one chance with the new job. Her oga was a woman in her late 50s who believed that any girl under 30 must not be lazy and unserious. Her motto was, if you are not sweating, you are not working. So Amarachi became jack of all trades and master of stress. In that office, she was supposed to be the receptionist, but she was the cleaner, the secretary, the errand girl, the help me buy amala and cook person, even the weekend gate opener. Her boss will call her by 6:30 a.m. shouting, "Where are you? Customers are already waiting." One day, a client brought a faulty printer, and before she could explain she wasn't a technician, her boss said, "Fix it or tell me why I am paying you." Amara just said in her mind, "For the 5K, whenever I read transportation and detour soap." But you see that job? She endured it, not because it was good, but because she promised herself never to be a burden to her parents. Every evening after work, she would go to a nearby restaurant with free Wi-Fi, not to post TikTok dances, but to read. She started learning real skills, social media management, basic design, and customer support tools. She was tired of being the modern-day Jackie. To survive the hunger pangs between her working hours, she became a loyal kulikuli customer. Yes, that crunchy, dusty peanut snack sold by one Hausa boy outside her office gates. She would say, "Oga, give me 15 naira own and add one extra stick for your sister." Sometimes she would buy 100 naira on payday weeks and even went wild and did 200 naira. One fateful Friday evening, she was broke, hungry and tired. She sat on her bed, opened her notebook to write out her expenses just to be sure she didn't lose her money. She calculated 100 naira kulikuli every day for 20 work days. She got 2,000 naira. Her eyes widened, plus the weekend cravings. That's over 3,000 naira a month on just kulikuli. She screamed and dropped the pen. Jesus, these people are cashing out on granola sticks. And me, I'm here sweating like donkey for 45K. Is this not jazz? She looked at the last pack in her nylon bag, held it like gold and said, "No more eating you. It's time to start making you." That night, with her last 200 MB, she did what every Nigerian visionary does. She went to YouTube. She typed how to make kulikuli at home. She watched 5 videos. The Hausa auntie that pounded her groundnut with fineness. The young girl that added pepper and garlic for modern flavor. The uncle that packaged it into nylon like biscuits. Amarachi was just taking notes like someone preparing for ICANN. By midnight, her notebook was full of recipes and one big title. Business Plan Kulikuli 2.0. She told herself, if people like that girl who collected my 5K can be online, then kulikuli can go digital too. During the day, she still worked like a slave, but at night she became a silent entrepreneur. She started with a 2,000 naira granola budget, borrowed blender and made her first batch during the weekend. She tested it. It was crunchy, salty, and with one wicked kick of pepper. She smiled and said, "Omo, na only me go chop this one no." But she didn't give up. She did another, and this time it tasted better. She packaged the kulikuli in transparent nylons and sealed them with candle wax. She didn't have branded stickers yet, so she used a marker to write Ama's kulikuli on each one. It looked funny, but it was her sweat, her hustle, and her hope. She took 5 packs to work on Monday and placed them quietly beside the printer. By lunchtime, 2 of her colleagues had bought. One of them took a bite and screamed, "Chai, who made this? It's so nice." The other girl said, I'm not even a kulikuli fan, but this one, Kai, it is so sweet. That was all Amarachi needed, her first customer feedback. She took it seriously like the way she read at night in school, and within 2 weeks, she was bringing 30 packs to work. Some people even bought some credits, and she wrote their names inside her small debtor's notebook. But things took a turn the day one of her customers posted a picture of the kulikuli on Instagram with a caption, Lagos stress plus Ama's kulikuli equals to peace of mind. Within an hour, someone from a small snacks and drink shop DM'd her. Hi, do you supply in bulk? We love how natural your product looks. Amarachi was shocked. She read the message like 3 times, and that night she couldn't sleep. Not because of excitement, but because of fear. Where will I get the packaging from? Should I register a name? What if they cancel last minute? But then she remembered all the time she had cried over that 5,000 naira, all the sweaty bus rides, all the insults from her boss, all the time she nearly fainted in traffic with only the outside boy's kulikuli in her belly. So she replied confidently, Yes, I supply. I will send you samples tomorrow. That deal worked out, and Amarachi used the money to buy better nylons and printed her first sticker logo. Before long, she had 3 regular buyers and even delivered to people in Yaba, Ikeja and Lekki using disparate riders she split fare with. She didn't resign yet, but every crunch of her kulikuli reminded her that one day she would be her own boss fully. One day, she was just in the office tired, and just like a joke, she posted a funny caption, Crunch into greatness with Ama's kulikuli, 100% homemade. She didn't expect anything at all, but she never knew the algorithm was ready for her that day. That post went viral, and within an hour, her DM was buzzing. Amara, do you deliver to Abuja? How much for 20 packs? And they were real and serious customers. That night, she slept like someone whose dreams were finally waking up. In 2 months, her kulikuli business moved from nylon bags to branded Ziploc pouches. She got over 3,000 followers on Instagram, mostly women cheering her on, and a few small stores begging to stock her products. By the 4th month, she rented a tiny corner shop near the market. Nothing fancy, but she was happy. She employed 2 women to help with mixing and frying, and 1 younger girl to handle delivery calls and social media orders. For the first time in her life, she paid someone else's salary, and that to her is big progress. Within 6 months, Ama's kulikuli started making waves. She was excited and proud. She began posting updates online, behind the scenes reels, kulikuli packaging day, how I made 50,000 naira in 1 weekend, and even payment receipts. Blow a little, but clear enough to prove that she was cashing out. One day, she posted from 45,000 naira salary to making over 120,000 naira in 1 week. God, now you runner. That post went viral. She had comments like, Girl, you are inspiring. I tap from this blessing. You are a proof that small beginnings matters, but not all the comments were sweet. Within a year, her kulikuli business had gone from 15 naira daily snacks to making millions monthly. Bulk orders were rolling in. She was supplying supermarkets, catering for events, and even got a call from a small export company interested in sending her products abroad. She was over the moon. To her, it wasn't just kulikuli, it was redemption, healing and payback for the tears she cried over that her 5,000 naira. So she made another post, just a picture of her bank app with the amount slightly blurred, and she captioned it, I made 2.3 million naira with just kulikuli this month. That post, it scattered social media. Some comments were full of joy. Chai, this is motivation. See what consistency does. I beg, where is your shop? Let me support you today. But not all the voices were happy. Some comments came laced with venom. Na kulikuli they give millions now? Yeah. Abeg, make una dey calm down with una lies Madam CEO. You are too proud. Who asked you all this? She read all and laughed it off at first until strange things started happening. One Monday morning, two women she had never seen before came into her shop, well-dressed, soft-spoken and smiling. We saw your page on Instagram. We came to try the kulikuli they said. They bought 5 packs, complimented her packaging and left. 2 days later, one of them posted a review under a fake account. Very disappointed. Tastes like there is sand inside. I expected more from someone bragging about millions. Amarachi was shocked. She quickly opened the pack from the same batch, tested it, but there was no sand. She gave one to her staff. Still, no sand. Yet, 2 more customers said the same thing that week. Soon, bad reviews began to pile up like dust in Harmattan. One said, "The taste is off. Is this not the same thing I used to buy for 15 naira by the roadside?" Another claimed her tea chipped because of the kulikuli. People started withdrawing orders. Her regular customers stopped replying her DMs. Bulk buyers cancelled with one excuse or the other. Amarachi was confused. She couldn't fathom what was happening. One night, she couldn't sleep. Her shop sales were down. Instagram algorithm had shadow banned her page and her spirit felt heavy. She knelt on her coat floor and cried. No small tears deep tears that came from her soul. God, what's happening to me? Is your blessing now mixed with sorrow? If no, why is my business crashing? In the silence that followed her tears, she heard clearly in her spirit, not everyone will clap for your success. Some are not just angry, they're spiritually jealous. Protect your harvest, otherwise it will become few. Share your testimonies with great wisdom because not everything is for public consumption. Witches have long left the plantain trees and cocoa trees. They are now online, so you can't do business with neutrality. That night changed everything. She deleted all the flashy posts, wiped her tears and stood up with new fire in her spirit. Her eyes were swollen, yes, but they were also opened. From that day, she made herself a vow. Never again will I announce what God is still building. She learned to post wisely. No more screenshots of credit alerts. No more, I just got my biggest order captions. If you see her online, you would think she was managing, but in reality, God was blessing her underground. She also changed her entire money routine. Before touching granite or setting up the fryer, she would kneel in her shop and pray loudly. Father, I cover every pack of kulikuli with the blood of Jesus. Anyone that buys this will only get the flavor of God. And anyone who wishes me evil, let them choke on their own heavy. She started playing worship music as she walked. Sometimes she will anoint the doorway to her shop with oil. She wasn't just a businesswoman anymore. She became a spiritual gatekeeper. And it worked. Slowly but surely, orders returned. The right customers found their way back to her. This time, no flash and no bragging. She posted things like motivation and business quotes. People thought she had slowed down, but behind closed doors, she was supplying 5 supermarkets, running a smooth monthly income, and even training 2 young women on how to start their own snacks business. She had learned the biggest lesson of her life. Success posted too early can attract enemies. And if anyone asks her, just for asking sake, Amarachi, are you still doing the kulikuli business? She will smile and simply say, if I can get 5 million naira loan from you, I will go back to it. She simply started living under the wisdom of Solomon. One afternoon, she received an email from a women's empowerment group. They had followed her journey quietly and wanted her to speak at the Faith and Hustle seminar. At first, she was hesitant, but she prayed about it and felt peace. So she went. On that day, she wore her branded t-shirt. She shared her story. Not just the wins, but the tears, the fake reviews, the spiritual battles, the lessons and the God moments. By the end of her talk, the hall was quiet. Some cried, some clapped, but one woman did everything possible to speak to her privately. She narrated her journey and only made one request for Amarachi to pull her out from the dish of poverty. Amarachi cried. That statement brought back a lot of memories as she understood the woman better because she had been in her shoes. She promised to help the woman. She employed her and taught her how to produce the kulikuli. And by the grace of God, the woman who used to feed from hand to mouth was now able to feed 3 times daily. That was the reason God sent her to that program. From there, Amarachi became more than a seller. She became a teacher, a mentor, and a proof that you can start small and that even in business you can fall and rise again. She never made the mistake of oversharing her success story or her gain online. Hey, African Tales by Karma Tribe, how are you all doing? For me, I am doing just fine. The story was a short one, but you will all agree with me that it has a lot of lessons, especially with the times that we're living. Before I leave today, I would like to say this. I know we are in the post-everything generation. That is, everybody now wants to post what happens within and around them online. I am not against it though. I am not here to say you shouldn't show off your hard-earned plastic chair or the bowl of jollof rice you are eating in a good restaurant after sealing that deal. Trust me, we all deserve to celebrate our wins, no matter how small. You can shout it to the heavens if it means something to you. But Karma Tribe, let's talk wisdom for a second. We live in a world where people know everything, or should I say 80% of a stranger's life because they have shared every single detail. Not everything needs an audience. There are some moments meant to be quietly lived and not constantly broadcasted. Sometimes, in the excitement of sharing our blessings, we forget that not everyone who claps for you is genuinely happy. Some are simply observing and waiting for a fall. Others are praying for a slip up, not because they are evil people, but because they are struggling with their own insecurities and frustrations. You see, social media is a space where we show our highlights, but barely our lowlights. We all love the glam pictures, the travel photos, the fresh shoes, but those same people who are liking your posts might not understand the grind behind them. The sleepless nights, the failures, and the disappointments. So when they see your success without the context of your struggle, jealousy can brew faster. Dear people, learn how to keep some moments close to your chest. The true value of your success isn't in the number of likes that you will get, but in the quiet peace you feel knowing that you earned it. Silence is not weakness. Silence is power. It is the space where you grow. It is the space where you get to build quietly, reflect, and plan without pressure. When you share too much information online, you are opening up yourself for unwanted opinions, good and bad advice, random criticisms, and unfortunately, spiritual battles. Yes, you heard me. Spiritual battles, because witches now have phones. They don't need to fly at night or to use spiritual mirrors to monitor people's progress. No, all they need to do is to subscribe their phone, come online and then get the information they need, and afterwards they attack. May we not be enemies to ourselves. In Jesus' name, permit me to enter this story with this my usual word. A word is enough for the wise. If you enjoyed the story, please give it a thumbs up by clicking on the like button, and let me get to read from you in the comment section what you think about the story. If you have any experience to share with us, please go ahead and do so. If you have heard anything too that is in line with the story that I've just shared, feel free to drop in the comment as well. And by the grace of God, I'll be responding to everyone as usual. If you have not subscribed to this channel, come on now. What are you waiting for? Kindly click on that subscribe button and join the Karma tribe. Then, until I bring another exciting story your way, it is a goodbye from here. And God bless you.